Listen to me right now, because this is serious. What you're about to hear could literally change your life, and most people will never realize it until it's too late. Somewhere out there, sitting in junk drawers, old wallets, glove boxes, and even cash registers, are Franklin half dollars hiding a silent fortune. These are not just old coins. These are dangerous hidden treasures, quiet wealth pieces that people are accidentally spending every single day without knowing they are throwing away serious money. If you have ever touched a Franklin half dollar, you might have already lost a life-changing opportunity. I am warning you right now, do not spend these coins. Some of the rarest Franklin half dollars ever made are still out there, hiding in plain sight, and each one we are about to reveal gets bigger, rarer, and more shocking than the last. Collectors are hunting these aggressively, auctions are exploding, and the supply is vanishing fast. Stay with me until the very end, because the final coin is so rare it makes the others look common. This is not fiction. This is real hidden wealth. And what comes next could be sitting in your hands right now. Hold on. Before you even think about skipping this part, listen carefully. This coin is dangerous to ignore. The 1950 Franklin half dollar with no mint mark looks innocent, worn, almost ordinary, and that's exactly why people are losing a silent fortune without realizing it. This is the kind of coin that slips through fingers, gets tossed into drawers, spent at gas stations, or cashed in without a second thought. And every single time that happens, someone unknowingly destroys a life-changing opportunity. Stay till the end, because one tiny detail on this coin changes everything. 1950 was not a calm year in America. The country was tense, money was tight, and fear was in the air. The economy was still feeling the aftershocks of World War II. Inflation was creeping. Families were saving every dollar they could, and the Korean War was about to erupt. People weren't collecting coins, they were surviving. Silver coins were being used hard, passed hand to hand, scratched, worn down, and spent without mercy. That brutal circulation is exactly why surviving Franklin half dollars from this year in fine or better condition are shockingly rare today. This is not just history. This is the reason hidden treasure exists. Now here's where it gets serious. The 1950 Franklin half dollar with no mint mark was struck in Philadelphia, but don't let that fool you. This was not a year of excess production. The minting pressure was intense, quality control suffered, and many coins left the presses with weak strikes, dull surfaces, and fragile details. These coins were not saved. They were used. Hard. Over decades, most were melted, damaged, or worn beyond recognition. Finding one today that still holds strong detail, original surfaces, and natural aging is like finding quiet wealth hiding in plain sight. Look closely at this coin, and you will understand why collectors go silent when they see one. Benjamin Franklin's portrait is the key. The hair above the ear, the cheek, the jawline, those areas disappear fast when a coin circulates. On the reverse, the Liberty Bell tells the real story. The bell lines, the crack, the lettering, those details vanish quickly. A 1950 Franklin half dollar in fine condition that still shows honest wear but strong remaining detail is not common. It's dangerous money hiding as pocket change. And most people do not even look. This coin becomes even more explosive because it has no mint mark. That missing mark isn't just absence, it's identity. It ties the coin to a specific moment in United States. Minting history where production choices, economic stress, and heavy circulation collided. Collectors obsess over these details. They look for original toning, natural silver color, untouched surfaces. If the coin looks cleaned, polished, or artificially shiny, the value collapses instantly. That's why patience is golden. One bad move destroys serious money. Here's the part that makes this coin feel dangerous. Survival, or more accurately, the lack of it. Millions were struck, yes, but almost none survived in collectible condition. Most were used until they were nearly smooth. Silver content made them targets for melting later on. Others were damaged beyond saving. The pool of surviving fine condition examples is tiny, and collectors know it. They aren't selling. They are holding. They're locking these away because demand keeps climbing and supply keeps shrinking. This is not speculation. This is real auction behavior happening right now. And when one of these finally shows up at auction, the room changes. Bidding slows. Phones come out. Serious collectors lean forward. These coins don't bounce around the market. They disappear into collections. That's why when a true 1950 Franklin half-dollar with no mint mark in fine condition surfaces, it represents hidden wealth, a silent fortune that most people never see coming. Today, this coin has reached a market value of $141,000, and that number carries weight. That's not hype. That's serious money changing hands quietly. Let me warn you clearly. Do not spend this coin. Do not clean this coin. Do not rub it, polish it, or try to make it shiny. Original toning matters more than brightness. Cleaning destroys collector trust instantly. Professional grading is critical because authenticity, condition, and originality are everything in this market. One tiny mistake can erase a fortune. This is not a coin you rush with. This is a coin you respect. If you ever find a Franklin half-dollar dated 1950, stop immediately. Check for the missing mint mark. Look at the details. Look at the bell. Look at Franklin's hair. Look for natural aging, not artificial shine. This detail changes everything. And remember, what comes next is even bigger. Because the next Franklin half-dollar on this list is rarer, more shocking, and even more dangerous to ignore. Most people have never even heard of it, yet it is hiding in the same places, waiting to be spent by someone who does not know what they are holding. Stay right here, because the next coin proves this hidden treasure story is very real. Stop right there. Do not scroll, do not blink, and definitely do not underestimate this coin. The 1961 Franklin half-dollar with the D mint mark is one of the most dangerous silent fortunes still hiding in circulation because it wears a gray shade that tricks people into thinking it is dead, damaged, or worthless. That dull, lifeless look is exactly why these are being spent, dumped, and lost every single day. And every time it happens, a hidden treasure disappears forever. Stay till the end, because one small surface detail on this coin turns pocket change into serious money. 1961 was a year of pressure in America. The Cold War was tightening its grip, the space race was draining resources, and economic anxiety was real. Silver was moving fast through the system. People didn't hoard coins, they used them. Half-dollars were workhorses, slammed into counters, dropped into tills, carried in pockets, and scraped against everything. Franklin half-dollars from this year were not protected, they were punished. That brutal usage is the reason surviving examples in fine condition are rare, and why collectors today get nervous when they see one with original gray toning still intact. Now here's where this coin becomes a quiet weapon. The Denver Mint in 1961 was pushing production hard, and speed mattered more than perfection. Many coins left the presses with soft details, shallow strikes, and surfaces that aged quickly. Over time, most of them lost their defining features or were cleaned by well-meaning hands trying to improve them. That gray shade you see on authentic examples today is not damage. It's survival. It's original silver aging, and collectors crave it. This is not fiction. This detail changes everything. Look at Franklin's face closely. The cheek, the jawline, the hair above the ear. On most 1961 D coins, those details vanish fast. On the reverse, the Liberty Bell lines blur, the crack fades, and the lettering softens. A fine condition example that still shows clear design under that natural gray skin is not common. It is a silent fortune, pretending to be ordinary. And because it carries the D mint mark, collectors know exactly where and how it was made, and why surviving pieces are so limited. This coin is rare because people misunderstood it. That gray shade caused countless examples to be tossed aside, polished, or spent without hesitation. Cleaning was the biggest killer. The moment someone tried to brighten that surface, the value collapsed. Original toning is everything here. That untouched look tells collectors this coin lived a hard life but escaped destruction. And that story matters. Serious collectors fight over coins like this because they cannot be recreated. When these appear at auction, they do not sit. Collectors recognize the danger immediately. Bidding climbs fast, then goes quiet, then jumps again. These coins disappear into collections and don't come back out. Demand is rising, supply is shrinking, and patience is the only way in. People who own them are holding tight because they understand this is quiet wealth that grows while no one is watching. Right now, this 1961 Franklin half-dollar with the D mint mark, gray shade, and fine condition carries a market value of $121,000. That number represents hidden wealth, not noise. It represents serious money locked inside a coin most people would ignore or spend without thinking. That's why this coin is dangerous. Let me be clear. Do not spend this coin. Never clean it. Never polish it. Never try to improve it. Original surfaces are the lifeline. Professional grading is not optional. It is protection. One careless move destroys everything. If you ever find one of these, slow down. Check the mint mark. Study the surfaces. Look for natural gray aging. What seems dull might be life-changing. And don't go anywhere, because the next Franklin half-dollar on this list is even rarer, even more shocking, and the reason collectors lose sleep. Most people have never seen one in the wild, yet it is still out there, hiding, waiting to be spent. Stay with me, because what comes next proves these silent fortunes are very real. Wait, before you move on, you need to understand something. This coin is not loud. It doesn't shine. It doesn't scream value. And that's exactly why the 1954 Franklin half-dollar with the D mint mark is one of the most dangerous hidden fortunes still being lost today. People see it, feel the wear, notice the age, and they spend it without hesitation. And just like that, a silent fortune is gone. Stay till the end, because one overlooked detail on this coin is the reason collectors will pay serious dollars without blinking. 1954 was a heavy year in America. The country was deep in the Cold War, money was tight, and confidence was fragile. Inflation pressure was real, wages were stretched, and silver coins were treated like tools, not treasures. Franklin half-dollars were everywhere, and no one thought twice about preserving them. They were passed around endlessly, worn down in pockets, and slammed into counters day after day. That non-stop circulation is exactly why surviving examples from this year in fine condition are shockingly rare today. Now add the Denver Mint to the story, and things get even more intense. The 1954 D Franklin half-dollars were produced under pressure, with speed prioritized over long-term quality. Many coins left the mint with weak strikes, especially in critical areas. Over time, those soft details vanished almost completely on most examples. That's why collectors slow down when they see a 1954 D that still shows strength in Franklin's portrait and clarity in the Liberty Bell. That combination is not common. It's dangerous money hiding in plain sight. Look closely at Franklin's hair above the ear, the cheek, the jawline. Those are the first to disappear. On the reverse, the Liberty Bell lines and the crack are the telltale signs. On most circulated examples, those details are gone. But when a fine condition coin still holds them, even under honest wear, collectors know they are looking at something special. That's the kind of detail that separates a spent coin from a silent fortune. This coin's rarity isn't about how many were made. It's about how few survived untouched. Most were cleaned, polished, or damaged by people trying to make them look better. That mistake destroyed enormous value. Original toning, natural silver aging, and untouched surfaces are everything. A 1954 D with original character tells a story collectors trust. And trust is what drives aggressive bidding. When these coins appear at auction, they don't float around. They get locked in. Collectors understand how thin the supply is and how strong the demand has become. Many buyers aren't flipping these. They're holding, waiting, and watching values climb quietly. This is not hype. This is real market behavior driven by scarcity and obsession. Right now, the 1954 Franklin $half with the D mint mark in fine condition carries a market value of $160,000. That number represents serious money, hidden wealth, trapped inside a coin most people would never look at twice. It's a life-changing opportunity that disappears every time someone spends one without knowing what they're holding. Let me say this clearly. Do not spend this coin. Never clean it. Never polish it. Original toning matters more than shine. Professional grading is critical because authenticity and condition decide everything. Rushing, guessing, or experimenting destroys value instantly. Patience is golden here. If you ever find a 1954 Franklin $half, slow down. Check for the D mint mark. Study the details. Look for natural wear, not artificial brightness. This detail changes everything. And don't leave yet, because the next Franklin $half on this list is even rarer, even more shocking, and one of the most misunderstood coins in American history. Most people walk right past it, and that mistake costs them a silent fortune. Stay right here, because what comes next proves how dangerous ignorance can be. Stop. This is where people make the biggest mistake. The 1948 Franklin $half with the D mint mark is one of the most misunderstood silent fortunes in American coin history, especially when it carries that cold gray shade. That dull, aged look makes people think it is worn out, damaged, or already spent of its value. And because of that assumption, these coins are being casually spent, dumped, or ignored every single day. Stay till the end, because one historical truth behind this coin turns it into a dangerous, hidden treasure. 1948 was a turning point year for the United States. America was still rebuilding after World War II, money was tight, and uncertainty ruled daily life. Families were focused on survival, not saving silver. Franklin $half had just entered circulation, and nobody treated them as collectibles. They were tools of commerce, moving fast through an economy under stress. That relentless use is why surviving examples from this first era in fine condition are rare today, and why collectors become obsessed when they find one that escaped destruction. Now bring the Denver Mint into the picture. The 1948 D Franklin $half was struck during a time when production demands were high and precision took a back seat. Many coins left the presses with weak strikes and shallow details, especially on the Liberty Bell. Over time, those already soft details vanished on most examples. The ones that still show clear bell lines, visible lettering, and a strong Franklin portrait under natural grey toning are not ordinary. They're silent wealth, hiding behind an unassuming surface. That grey shade is the trap. It's not dirt. It's not damage. It's original silver aging that only forms when a coin survives decades without being cleaned. Most people destroyed this exact look by polishing their coins, thinking shiny meant valuable. That single mistake erased fortunes. Collectors today want untouched surfaces, honest wear, and natural color. When they see it, they know the coin lived through history and came out intact. This is not fiction. This detail changes everything. Look closely at Franklin's hair above the ear and the sharpness of his features. On the reverse, study the Liberty Bell crack and the lines across the bell. On most circulated 1948D coins, those details are gone. But in fine condition, they still speak. And that survival is why this coin is dangerous to ignore. It looks ordinary, but it carries serious money. At auction, these coins do not behave like normal pieces. They attract quiet, focused bidding. Collectors know how few exist in this condition with original grey toning. Once one is secured, it rarely comes back to market. Demand keeps building, supply keeps shrinking, and patience becomes the winning strategy. People who own them are holding, not selling, because they understand this is hidden wealth that grows quietly. Today, the year 1948 Franklin half-dollar, with the D mint mark, grey shade, and fine condition, holds a market value of $141,000. That number represents a life-changing opportunity disguised as a dull old coin. And most people will never realize what they have lost. Let me be absolutely clear. Do not spend this coin. Never clean it. Never polish it. Original toning is everything. Professional grading protects the story and the value. One careless move destroys trust and wipes out serious money instantly. If you find one, slow down. Check the mint mark. Respect the surface. What seems ordinary could be a silent fortune. And don't go anywhere, because the final Franklin half-dollar on this list is the rarest, the most shocking, and the most dangerous to ignore. Most people will never touch one in their lifetime, but some of you watching might already have. Stay with me, because the last coin changes everything. This is it. This is the coin that ends the debate. If you've stayed this far, listen very carefully, because the 1953 Franklin half-dollar with no mint mark is not just rare, it's a silent financial trap that people are falling into every single day. This coin looks harmless. It blends in. It feels ordinary in the hand. And that's exactly why it's one of the most dangerous hidden treasures still hiding in plain sight. Stay till the very last second, because what I am about to tell you separates people who lose life-changing wealth from the few who recognize it in time. 1953 was a strained year in America. The Korean War had just ended, the economy was stretched, and uncertainty ruled the nation. Silver was flowing fast through circulation because people needed cash, not collectibles. Half-dollars were work coins. They were spent, dropped, scratched, and abused without mercy. Nobody saved them. Nobody protected them. That harsh reality is the reason Franklin half-dollars from this year are incredibly hard to find today in fine condition, especially when they survived untouched. Now here's the twist that makes this coin explode in value. The missing mint mark. That empty space beneath the date ties this coin directly to Philadelphia, but more importantly, to a period when production pressures, economic strain, and non-stop circulation collided. These coins were struck, released, and instantly absorbed into heavy use. Over time, most were worn down, damaged, or later melted for silver. The few that survived with strong remaining detail are not common. They are silent fortunes, pretending to be average coins. The hair detail above the ear, the cheek, the jawline, those features disappear fast. On the reverse, the Liberty Bell tells the real story. The bell lines, the crack, the lettering. On most 1953 examples, those details are nearly gone. But when a fine condition coin still shows honest wear with real detail left, collectors freeze. That survival alone is why this coin is dangerous to ignore. This coin's power isn't flash, it's trust. Original surfaces matter more than shine. Natural toning matters more than brightness. Most of these coins were destroyed by cleaning, polishing, or careless handling. People thought they were helping. They were actually erasing fortunes. Collectors today are obsessed with originality because it proves the coin's story hasn't been tampered with. This is not fiction. This detail changes everything. When a true 1953 Franklin half-dollar with no mint mark in fine condition appears at auction, it doesn't drift. It locks in. Collectors know how few exist, and they know demand is rising while supply is vanishing. These coins are being held tightly, passed into long-term collections, and quietly removed from the market. That's why values keep climbing without noise. Right now, this coin carries a market value of $171,000. That is hidden wealth. That is serious money. That is a life-changing opportunity disguised as an old half-dollar most people wouldn't even look at twice. And every time one gets spent, that quiet fortune is gone forever. Let me say this one last time, clearly and loudly. Do not spend this coin. Never clean it. Never polish it. Original toning is sacred. Professional grading is protection, not a luxury. Rushing destroys value. Patience protects wealth. If you ever find one, slow down and respect it. And now, here's the truth. These 5 Franklin half-dollars are not myths. They are real. They are still out there, and people are losing them every day without knowing it. If this video just saved you from spending one, share it with someone you care about, because the next silent fortune might already be in their pocket.